Welcome back to the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Shall I start where I left off?
No, start from the beginning. We're starting over.
Yeah, fuck this playthrough. Cloud's a git anyway, so I'm going to start at the beginning. Where he was an even bigger git, so I just
We're going to redo this 8 times in total
we're
before
gonna start over Quiet Man style, except this time there's an extra audio track playing over it. Yes.
As if there weren't enough audio tracks in the game already.
I mean, we later on see a person with a golden gun, so it's not even too much of a stretch.
Wow. And hey, they're both Square Enix titles.
Yeah, I still can't believe that. I honestly don't understand, how the Quiet Man managed to get Square Enix as a publisher, because I think I mentioned this in a round, but it feels so generic. It doesn't seem to have an identity as this clearly belongs to this company.
Well, I get the feeling that Square Enix is trying to make a genuine effort to get more variety in their publishing catalog instead of just being mostly JRPG anime stuff. Like trying to.
But their Western division unfortunately, is not cranking up that much after Deus Ex: Mankind Divided hasn't convinced expectations.
And the Quiet Man is a very unique experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say this though: for them to Quiet Man the way it was, though, I gotta wonder. Is somebody on their team just going senile to have allowed Quiet Man to be...
Either that or being careless. Again, if there is one game that I want to desperately want to see a making of, is that one.
I know.
The only one we have is the official one where it reveals that of why the creator created it. Because he.
Anyway, for this part, I'm going to show off a few of the new weapons that I got.
All right.
The baseball bats.
Yeah. Just like in the original, at least at start, you can still improve it with the Cristiano like we was about to do. But right at start, just in the original, it compensated the complete lack of material slot with a high attack power. But it's one thing that I actually didn't show in my run, mostly because I wasn't that carefully in showing 100% even the minor stuff. But each character can get a joke weapon. Like Sid can get like a mop. Yuffie can get a paper origami, for example. In Cloud's case, it was the nail bat. The characteristic of each of them is the fact that they have no material slot, but they compensate with high attack power. But there's a reason why they're called joke items, because in a practical sense, their high attack power is not that effective, especially in late game material.
Besides, it's like we've established, it's a baseball bat. So.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Dwibs. In this case, it's
made
not,
out of wood with nails in it. That's like something some random schmuck would make in this garage.
Dwibs.
I'm pretty sure, considering how impractical the Buster Sword is. Keep in mind, Dwibs, I'm talking because a YouTube channel called Man at Arm, have tested in trying to recreate video game weapons. Among these were also the Buster Sword and Sephiroth Masamune. They managed to do the Buster Sword, but did a lot of struggle. And as far as I remember, they couldn't actually manage to create a perfect long enough Masamune blade, because it's way too damn long and it literally collapses onto its own weight. Basically, so
don't tell me they tried to
applying real life logic with these weapons is, a lost cause.
Don't tell me.
You're telling me if those random group of thugs didn't come back, you couldn't beat the shit out of them with a baseball bat with nails?
True that too.
But why would I want to when I have two more extremely more powerful weapons?
Why waste those on them?
Exactly. Dwibs, you save the more deadly weapons for the more deadly foes. But with a lot of common thugs, a baseball bat with nails is well enough.
What kind of logic is that? That's like you might as well say, oh Cloud, you're gonna go up against a bunch of heavily armed thugs, so here, carry a bloody walking stick into
I'd
battle
hardly
with you.
call them heavily armed.
Also, with that logic, Dwibs, the Cloud's standard weapon should not be. It better be used against the metallic foes because the sharpness of it by scraping onto the other metal actually consumes it. I wish I was joking, but Crisis Core makes it an actual fucking plot point. We're
Sometimes
just
punching
telling you,
works.
no, don't use the weapon when it's actually used for killing people, killing things because it gives usage of a weapon. Yeah, that's its fucking job, NGO. What the fuck are you thinking?
But Gio, don't you get it? The Buster Sword is an iconic family heirloom that should only be used.
Just sharpen from time to time, you dickhead.
Tio, fortunately for us, this isn't Advent Children or Crisis
Crisis Core, right.
Well, okay, now in that kind of sense, I can believe you because of, once again, how the hilt. I do believe it makes it quite a difference. But it's connected to a theory that I may reserve for my final thoughts.
Although I'm only really going to use the baseball bat in this one part because...
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, okay. While it can be useful, like I said, it's a lot less work, and for as much a joke item as it is, it's good for occasionally using, but not for every using.
And I once again argue that the ability that it gives you is not as useful as the other weapons.
All right, so Cloud will finally get to fulfill his mission that's been started since before the beginning of the game. Cloud's gonna whack the shit out of a bunch of boxes so he can find his mum's ashes.
Now remind me, Tia, what were Aerith and Tifa's joke weapons in the original?
Okay, let me see if I remember correctly. With Tifa, I think it's a pair of boxing gloves. While for Aerith, I think it's a broom. I'm checking in the meantime.
Oh,
I don't know,
so
she
they
does
gave...
gardening. It could be a shovel.
It would be funny if they gave her a broom, because then that would pretty much make her the role of this game then.
It's the interesting thing is speaking of Buster Sword is how by the time you get all of the Art of Swordplay manuscripts in the game, if you fully level up the Buster Sword, it ends up becoming the most powerful weapon in the game because it has the best stats, and all weapons by the time they're fully evolved they have 6 linked materia slots, so basically can use the Buster Sword for the rest of it when you fully fleshed it out. Because
now we got
there you go
to the part I was most looking forward to. Whack-a-box. Basically, there are different size boxes, and depending on the size of the box, there will be a different points total you can get from knocking that box away. The more points you get, the better prize you can get.
Like I said,
I gotta say, these kids have a rather sophisticated secret society going on.
And you have a target to reach to get the better prizes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, no more predicted Dwibs' headcanon for Cloud's hatred of boxes. So you created an entire minigame for this purpose.
My personal strategy recommended for this minigame is to give you the... I forgot what it's called in English. It's a purple materia that essentially allows Cloud to do a special spinning attack right after dodging, which allows him to cover a vast range and gives, equal damage to all targets, which is perfectly useful for a case like this.
I gotta say,
unfortunately, I don't have that materia.
Go on, Jova.
This is giving me Kingdom Hearts vibes, akin to the Olympus. The Olympus Coliseum with the barrels.
Anyway, I checked Jova. Here's the list of the joke item. Cloud is a nail bat. Barrett is a rocket punch. Tifa is a work glove. Aerith as an umbrella. I remember this one. You can win this prize as a prize at the Speed Square, the Ghost Saucer. Yuffie as Red 13 as a hairpin. Yuffie, I think, as a Super Bowl. I'll give images later. Kate Sif as a trumpet shell. Vincent has a silver rifle, and Sid has a mop.
Little pro tip, Dwibs. The best way to go from Punisher mode back to Operator mode is to just do a dodge roll.
Okay, I gotta wonder.
I'd rather just press the triangle button.
Well, trust me, when you're in the middle of a fight, the dodge roll is way better way to do it.
Okay, I gotta wonder, how do these kids have the time, strength, and effort to put those huge 1,500 boxes?
And then
Well,
one
it
of
might
the
have been their
kids,
parents.
and one of the kids is like, "Oh, don't you dare talking about my boxes! I love my boxes."
So, Dwibs, do you think?
So target 10,000, and I got 15,600 points. Anyway, yes, Pedro.
So, Dwibs, do you think Cloud will be able to, as sated his first for destroying boxes for a while now?
No.
Says him.
Oh yeah, because Cloud's going to do the mission again.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh,
never mind
Well,
then.
after I change weapons, because baseball bats are baseball bats, so I'm just going to equip a better weapon that I have, which will be. Hang on.
Ah,
the
going
sword?
classic.
I'm gonna use all three for this mission.
Like I said, Jova, if you fully level up the weapon to its maximum potential, the Buster Sword is actually the best weapon in the game. So,
Huh. So this game actually encourages you to stick with the classic weapon.
that is, however, Jova, you have to go out of your way into hard mode and basically 100% the game in order to do so.
It also makes sense, Joe, because most players would experience Cloud exiting Midgar with the Buster Sword. Once again, like I mentioned, the only alternative is to steal a hard edge from the soldiers enemy in the Shinra building, which does get reflected because, thanks to coding, also it was revealed, Cloud has only one variation in the original game for his motorcycle minigame. In one he has the Buster Sword, but in the other he has the hard edge in the case you actually got it. So the game had some foresight for players who actually, well willing to experiment.
Very nice.
Stupid box. Just go down.
Like I said, I have to give these kids credit. They have a pretty sophisticated society going on down here. They have their currency. They're able to set up these incredibly powerful boxes that can withstand several strikes from my Buster Swords. Yeah.
The boxes killed my grandfather.
Wait, hold on. I thought the boxes killed my... Oh, no. That was Sephiroth who did that.
Yeah. Sephiroth buried your mum's ashes in a box. Sephiroth pushed a bunch of boxes onto his grandfather and died.
Well, look at the bright side.
It's an interesting retcon to the history.
Well, look at the bright side.
Is it any worse than other retcons?
Well, look at the bright side, Cloud. At the very least, Sephiroth killed your family, and then he just walked off without saying anything. For Chop from Snack World, not only did he get his entire village and family killed, but we see the villain even laughing in his face about it. So,
well, technically, Sephiroth turned around and smirked at me rather evilly.
I guess, but he didn't call your family garbage while he did it, did he?
That's the thing.
3, 2, 1. I'm almost there. Yes, I just made it.
That's the thing. Even in death, he won't leave me alone.
Literally,
it seems.
I managed to break the target with like less than a second to go.
Interesting.
Well, the primary.
Great duck impression.
Well, there's the key to getting the.
Oh no! That kid's about to stab Aerith with that toy Buster Sword.
Well, I blame the parents. Well, the key to getting 30,000 points on this minigame is to make really good and go out of your way to get all the time, the bonus time boxes. There's one in particular that you haven't gotten yet, like the one that's right behind one of the 1,500 points blocks. I recommend using the triple slash ability to your heart's content when it comes to...
Which is the ability given to you by the weapon you're currently using.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see if I use it.
There, you got the bonus time box.
Yeah, those little boxes there give you 10 seconds more time.
Obviously, Tero's strategy with that material is also really good, but considering, like Dwibs said, it's a bit too early at this point.
Very good.
Actually, it's the material that you get in chapter 2, the one that was exposed in
Oh,
your
you're getting-
car. Yeah,
Oh,
the
is
one
it?
that he missed.
Oh, okay then. It's been a while.
Although I think you can actually buy it later on in the Sector 7 slums.
Maybe.
But the point is that at this point, one way or another, you should be able to have it.
Well, in the absence of that, regardless, triple slash works well as well.
There we go.
As we can see.
Well, actually, it's not using
I'm
triple
not
slash.
triple slashing, I'm just mashing the square button.
There you go. There's that 1500 block to the left of you. There's a time block or box rather behind it. So it's a good idea to try to get those 1500 points, which will also give you a time bonus. Again, it's mostly like the key to getting max score is not to do what you're doing, which is just mindlessly mashing. You have to play your cards right.
Like I said, don't play this like you're playing Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know. Kingdom Hearts.
Again, which is again, I don't play Kingdom Hearts anyway. So.
Well, I don't know. Kingdom Hearts minigames tend to be good for the most part, to be honest.
Well, hold on. I didn't say that they were bad. I'm just saying don't play this like you're playing Kingdom Hearts.
Also, Joe, remember, for the mini games, you don't have to mash square, you have to mash triangle instead.
It's totally different.
Yes,
My point being,
totally
you
different
don't-
button, so yes.
My
No,
point
I'm
being,
not gonna
Nash
make
a
it.
lot like you're in a Kingdom Hearts game. Out of time.
I failed.
Well, depends.
I didn't come. I wasn't too far away, but
Alright, children, everyone point and Cloud and left for his failure.
ha ha.
Ha 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 ha.
I guess it
Aerith, don't go close to the swords.
Maybe Aerith just has an attraction to very long and hard weaponry.
Who do you think you are, Yuri?
I guess it depends. Like if you're playing OG KH2 on the PS2, I guess. But Final Mix on critical mode is a lot more balanced, if you ask me, when it comes to that.
There's still a lot of mashing involved, though.
Well, yeah,
Like I
that's just
said-
inherent to the battle system in general. But I think it.
Exactly. That's exactly why I said in the first place, don't play this like you're playing Kingdom Hearts.
True, but I would argue that Final Mix had some really awesome super bosses that
hello,
require a
the
bit more
silver
clever
staff.
playing on your part.
Yes, the super
Okay,
boss.
Moggy,
Well,
you
don't mind
shouldn't
if I
play
do.
around with these dangerous stuff.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
seriously, kids, I have to ask, where are you getting all this
I
advanced
have my
weaponry?
sources.
I stole them from Elmira.
You're gonna far in this business, kid. Just don't go to Walmart.
So yeah,
Bad
I got
place for
a
ya.
so I got a new weapon for Aerith, the silver staff.
Its ability, if I recall correctly, is to use a special magic attack. I think it around
Sorcerer's Storm, I think that's the one.
Honestly, Aerith's side ability as a supporting mechanic are actually really useful.
Ray of
Especially
Judge,
if you're
yeah.
playing- Especially if you're playing on a magic build.
Yeah, Aerith's best ability, native ability is Ray of Judgment.
The one that
yeah.
boosts, basically, it only does damage, but it also boosts the percentage of the stagger gauge on a staggered enemy.
Yeah.
It's actually required to complete one of Chadley's dossier and to get a trophy.
Yeah, Cloud is a good point. Keep your plans to yourself.
Oh, you mean the-
otherwise they'll just
Oh, you mean the
otherwise
stagger?
Your rivals will overhear.
Chadley's
they'll
dossier is
drag you
about
out of
getting
business.
200%. The trophies to get 300%.
Oh, no, Toteo. You don't need Ray of Judgment to do that. You can use Tifa instead. Basically,
True, but she is increases like 5% at a time. By the time
Okay.
she's done, by the time you get to try to reach that, the stagger gauge bonus is already gone.
Not
Alright,
really.
Just got one more side mission left. The Angel of the Slums.
Here-
Oh, really? Good. A new storyline, side storyline they introduced for the remake.
Here's how I got that
Well, if I
trophy.
can find it, get out of the way.
Here's how you get that trophy too. Basically, go fight the fat chocobo with and use Tifa's triangle abilities. Keep using unbridled strength to increase to the more powerful versions, and you'll be able to increase that. Since fat chocobo is incredibly resistant, has a lot of HP, it becomes a lot easier to do that. To be honest.
Seriously, why is everyone in the slums so bloody rude? No wonder they're stuck in the slums.
Who wants to know?
A
What do you say he
journalist
wants?
Jova, the worst kind.
Anyway, we got here Matt Damon, and he's a reporter.
Let me check who is voiced by. Oh. Have you covered wars? Because we kind of need some quality, with your
No, but I did uncover a story about you, Aerith. I seem to recall that last week you tried to play a prank on the leader of this town. A prank involving a whoopee cushion, pies, and a huge bed of flowers.
But yeah, it seems we have a Robin Hood-esque figure roaming the slums. And apparently it's female.
Slums.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised the female wasn't called Robin. Get it? Robin the slums.
Okay, Damon's voice actor is not credited, so he's probably one of the additional voices. Can't recognize him though.
Anyway, yeah, Damon's played by an actor. Yeah, that's what we know.
Maybe. I mean, it would have been fine. It would have been cute if it was Robbie Damon, but no, he doesn't sound like him.
Oh, I don't have to go very far for the mission then. Just right over here.
Okay, so I guess I need to play Super Sleuth on this one.
Oh boy, do you go to that jukebox and get the track there?
He already
I
did.
think I already got it.
Yeah,
Oh,
he already
okay.
did. It's the tango version of the victory theme.
Yep, I love that one.
Plot
Oh my
twist,
god,
Guardian-
a lady!
Leaving a calling.
Someone teleported.
Wait, an angel. Someone comes in and leaves a calling card, which is funny because I've been playing Persona 5 Raw alongside this.
Typical gentleman thief behavior. I think it was pioneered essentially by the first Arsene Lupin novels,
Plot,
Yeah.
if not even before.
Either
plot
that or
twist.
well, hey, Futaba's voice actress is in this game, so yeah.
So is Anne, Akechi is pretty sure everyone is here. I'm pretty sure everyone is here. Let me check if
Well, I
Xander-
mean, we've had there's been a few P5 Persona 5 voice actors in Spiral and Crash to an extent.
Okay,
so,
surprising enough, Xander Mobius is not listed for the additional voices.
Xander Mobus tends to be particular with the roles.
It's weird because for Final Fantasy VII Machina Bridge he did voice Rufus, so I was hoping for some casting gag.
Xander Mobus is an interesting guy. He has been in a lot of big, high-profile stuff,
Near-
but he always also remembers the
Muriel.
little guys, too.
We actually have a voice actress credited for her, Susan Silo. Let me check what she did.
He's a former soldier and super strong.
That I am.
Well, at least Aerith's considerate enough to remember that he's an ex-soldier.
Oh, get this, Jova.
Yeah.
She's the voice actress for Madame Amberly for Crash to Insanity.
Ah, I thought I remembered that. Wait, oh my god, she also voices Nina in that game, too.
Yeah,
Well, Nina only had like one
Grounds.
line.
Nina didn't start speaking properly until Tag Team Racing, I think.
Well, okay, technically she speaks in Crash Bandicoot Purple and Spiral Orange.
But that came out before Twin Sanity.
Also, we're not talking about that.
It's funny
She
because
is,
I've heard Crash Fusion is fine.
she had like the mentality of a toddler back in those games.
She has
So-
anyway, the actress has an extensive career, as to be expected. I think she's from at least the 50s. Oh, actually, no, she was born in 1942. But actually, this was the last thing she has done at this point. But there was a bit of a gap because she has done something else in 2020, but her previous roles were in 2017. So she had not worked in 3 years.
Interesting.
Oh,
What?
I was a
I
decent
wasn't.
person.
Yeah, which is funny coming from Cloud. Yeah. Oh yeah. So what I should have mentioned during that part. You know that meme that went around where they say "old man yells at Cloud."
yeah.
I probably should have reversed it and say Cloud
yells at
old
him.
man.
It's the perfect place for a criminal to hold
I mean, someone actually edited that picture from the Simpsons episode and had Grandpa shake his fist at a Simpsonized
I've
version
seen
of
that.
Cloud.
hideout as its lair.
Not sure why a man yelling at a 21-year-old would be breaking news, but there we are.
Of
Maybe it was just some news
course,
stories.
monsters had to be involved.
Monsters have been
Well, I mean-
increasing in number recently too. Don't you know?
I heard the
you can
rumor
count-
monsters are coming back.
You can count on your hand You can count on one hand the number of times monsters aren't involved in something.
I'd say you have one right here. Wouldn't you?
So, my good.
Actually, he's like, what the fuck are you asking me?
You again, it would be lovely if you investigated Lookout Point for me.
Also, isn't
What?
that sword of yours uncomfortable?
Lookout Point.
No, not really. Actually, I have a good pose to make sure that
Perfectly
it doesn't look too
balanced
bad on
as it
the back.
should be.
This is what we need.
Exactly.
But what we don't see is
Actually,
whenever
interesting is-
whenever Cloud takes the sword off his back, he has to hunch his back over and walk around.
It's interesting you say that,
Fancy.
Dwibs, because in the 5th video of the behind the scenes that Square made, and where they cover visuals, they did mention how when they were coming up with the idle animations, they thought, okay, Cloud is carrying around this big sword, so it probably is it's heavy. So we figured we would create an idle animation that does reflect that, where he sometimes adjusts his posture and stuff like that, you know, to try to get a bit more comfortable. So the developers did think of that as well.
There's also
It's not just the-
cool touches, like when Cloud sits on a bench, he actually tilts the sword properly so it doesn't clip.
I mean, it's not just the weight as well. I mean, that sword's flying about all over the place when he turns around. What if he cuts someone's leg off?
I'm pretty sure, I think it's stuck to his back right now, so there's no issue with that.
Remember, like I said,
Magnet.
the belt that goes around his waist, his chest and back has like a magnet stuck to it. Again, if you ever owned a Cloud action figure, you probably have seen it because
And yeah, as
of
we're
course
in
it gives
this,
the option to attach it on his back.
They went. Now, as we're in this area, we get I've forgotten the name of the song.
The proper slam theme. Yeah, I mentioned these a couple of parts ago. Pretty much faithful. No, but here's the only thing they actually changed in how Cloud handles the proper Buster Sword is ideally just the victory pose. Not necessarily for this game. It's a thing that has happened pretty much since the first Dissidia, because it was the first one of the early who incorporated the victory pose for him. Instead of the original game where Cloud literally spins it like an helicopter on top of his head, instead it just gives you 2 spins in front of him and then puts it on his back. I guess it's more practical, this kind of way, instead of spin to win.
Not to mention, doing it behind you can be pretty dangerous. I mean, what if you cut yourself, or if you let go of it by accident, you could end up stabbing someone by mistake.
But it looks cool.
Of course.
Yes, Jover, tell that to the
You can't enter
person.
there yet.
Define yet.
Well,
You can do
Joe,
that only later.
how about this? How about this, Joe? I'll quote one of our favorite movies. I think you'll appreciate this. It's all good fun.
all fun.
Until someone listens to Exactly. There you go. See.
But yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to get to that thing during this playthrough.
Well, Dwibs, so maybe you can later. It's for a later chapter, Dwibs. One that you haven't reached yet, so who knows?
Oh, I thought I missed it.
No.
No.
Just a teaser, so you're still in time.
What chapter
okay.
are you in at the time of this recording?
10.
Okay, good. Okay,
It
good. You
does
have
become
not reached
available
the chapter
in
yet.
chapter 14, basically.
How many chapters are there in the game?
18. So you're past the halfway through. Keep in mind that the pacing of each chapter varies. Some of them may be shorter, some of them may be longer. So
I'm curious,
I'm already
Dwibs.
halfway there.
I'm curious, Dwibs. How well did you do in the squat minigame at the gym in chapter 9?
I did pretty well.
Okay.
As in, I kicked that prick's ass, but we'll get to that in a couple of parts from now.
honestly, again, adjusting the easier one. Of course, I know that they get hard as they go on, but The mini games are very Jesus Christ, that's big. The squatting and the bar are intuitive at the very least. I'm not gonna say that they're super easy, but it is very intuitive in how you should perform them.
Oh no, I have a problem with the way they're designed. It's how fucking difficult beating Jules in the pro mode of the pull-ups, not the squats. I was able to beat the squats with Cloud in pro very relatively easily. The problem is when you do the pull-ups with Tifa, the bottom patterns keep changing over and over, so you don't have much time to get comfortable with whatever pattern you're doing. So, and combined with the fact that Jewel, basically, when you do the pull-ups with Tifa in pro mode, you basically have to get that trophy. You have to basically be perfect. You cannot screw up. Period.
When do the pull-ups happen?
Chapter 14.
Yeah. Don't worry, Dwibs. If it's something that you could have potentially lose, we already told you.
Yeah, well, the only thing you win is a trophy and a champion's belt, which isn't even a particularly great accessory anyway. So, whatever.
Bragging rights, basically.
But well, I mean, Cloud. I don't think Cloud's really the kind of guy who would brag about stuff anyway.
It's more Barrett's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Anyway, okay.
Unless someone makes a fanfic where Cloud and Barrett switch bodies or something.
Okay. Let's be honest. Cloud would boast about something. The difference is how he'd go about it. Barrett is a lot more loud and upfront about it. Cloud's the kind of guy who will milk his own hype so that he can get more work, though.
True, but Cloud only cares about practical results, not necessarily gratification, but compensation for that.
I will say this. The pull-up minigame in pro mode was, to me, the hardest trophy in this game because I nearly burst a blood vessel just trying to get that.
And we all know how much you love QTEs.
Yeah, I did manage to beat it by 1 point. It was close, but I did it. Here's what I recommend doing. Go to the options and turn the volume of the music and the voice acting to 0, so you can only hear the sound effects. That way you can hear the sound effects of the rhythm a lot better. A lot better. But no, that minigame, yeah, that was quite the. It's not ice cream beat levels of insanity, but it's its own bit of insanity for me.
Now, Aerith work in perfect tandem to take down this random-ass mechanical
Okay, if I recall
droid.
correctly, one ideal strategy would be using Thunder not on the main target, but on his huge-ass ball, because that will help the staggering game better.
But I don't have Thunder equipped.
I think you have with Aerith. I don't think you selected a magic with Aerith yet.
I will say this though, Teo. I don't consider those minigames QTEs, at least not the traditional type of QTEs. Like they're more rhythm minigames than anything, to be honest. When I think QTEs,
functionally they do work the same.
I guess, but when I think QTEs, I think stuff like the cinematic action from 13.2 or something like that.
It's just applied in a different context, but the mechanic is basically the same.
I guess
they are still QTEs by their nature.
I guess my argument is that the minigames in this game actually require a rhythm. Like it's not just monkey C button, monkey push button like the cinematic action does as you do.
Well, that's the thing though, Pedro. That's the thing though, Pedro. Not all QTEs are the same as each other. So what you're experiencing are just QTEs that you prefer over certain other QTEs.
I guess.
And we've got the
calling card.
We found the Phantom Thieves calling cards.
Yeah.
We are going to steal your hearts if you have one, that is.
LOL.
Find the Phantom Thieves.
If you have...
Oh my god, Tio, you gotta wonder, what would Cloud's palace be like?
If you without spoiling anything, if you have any knowledge of how these types of stories usually go, you probably already know who the Angel of Slums is.
Yeah, I actually had some suspicion from the get-go, but the more I went on, I was like, yeah, we're going there.
Well, Joe, but knowing Cloud's palace, it'd be like that mind thing that Tifa goes into in the original.
Also, please remember, Yuichi is the guy who will probably go out in Shibuya Square with a megaphone going, "It's a good thing no one knows we're the Phantom Thieves."
Yeah, that's doing his best.
That's kind of the thing. Yeah. I mean, characters have flaws. I get that, but when Persona 5's issues is that the character flaws is the most often cause of some really silly conflicts, like in the worst example being Akumura's palace.
Well, Dwibs, character flaws do that. Most of the time, conflicts between people are caused by a person's flaws or more than one person's flaws. That's kind of how things work, so...
Well, Akumura's palace is extremely stupid. But I'll get to that when we eventually do.
Also, that
Royal specific.
I do agree, but that sort of thing can be used to excuse poor writing. Like,
it can obviously. There's a good way to do something, and there's a bad way to do something. That goes without saying.
I'm not saying Persona 5 as a whole is poorly written or anything. It's just that one part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it ruins the whole game.
Oh,
Don Corneo. That's a weird.
First time we hear of him.
But I wonder who this Don Corneo guy is.
Probably someone very horny.
Well, not my problem. It's not like I'll be running into
Hashtag
him.
not my problem.
Yeah, sure.
Can't call it theft if you're just claiming what you're owed. Am I right? Well done, Mr. Murphy. You certainly lived up to your reputation.
It's what I do. All right, let's
actually
mosey.
now you completed all the side quests now.
You've been working so hard, you lost track of time.
Yeah, it took me a few parts to do all the side quests.
Ah, it's fine.
Thanks for all your hard work.
Now they do. Come on, let's go home.
I'm sure no one will stop us in the way. Oh wait, there's the thing that the teacher told us. Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully that won't be a problem.
Maybe the person just was bored to death by the fact that we kept doing the side quest instead of going for it.
But first of all, I gotta make sure I go the right way. Wrong path. Yeah, sorry, don't mind me. I'm just clouds in the
Watch the
forts.
suit.
Clouds in the forts and oh, hello.
See, he cared about pigeons for some reason.
Yep.
I like
Ladies
to
and
keep them
gentlemen.
well fed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems Square couldn't let go of Hitman entirely.
Haven't seen him before. He your new boy to
The Turks in themselves are more of a reference to Reservoir Dogs, one of the more known Quentin Tarantino movies.
those eyes.
Boy,
And
toy.
Is he the one
it's
who
funny,
made
we
it,
actually
you know?
we actually retroactively inspired an actual satirical program here in my country.
Need to cross my T's, dot my I's. That's all.
I don't get that.
This is nothing personal. This is just business.
He means he has a
Which is why I'm
score.
going to walk away while
No, I
looking
mean,
at
what do you mean by T's and I's?
That's what I was saying. It means that he has a score to settle with us.
But like it or not,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, not a bad person. Yeah, I'll believe you.
So,
Yeah,
wait,
because it's a good judge of
you're
character.
Jessica Rabbit. I'm not bad, we just draw me like that.
I'm not bad. I'm just rude. Nothing personal, son.
Whoop. Well, at least he
And
didn't
somehow
teleport
we didn't
Edward
break-
Reno.
And somehow Rue didn't break his foot.
Oh, don't worry, Dwibs. Rude,
Oh, boy.
Rude is made of steel. He doesn't
much.
break that. Okay.
Okay, rude in this game is no joke
I actually
here.
really love this boss fight. No particular reason. Root just has a fun moveset to be slapped by.
Yeah.
Also, he has a grappling move.
Whee!
Ow! Okay.
Fun.
Of course, you realize
I
this
didn't
means
know he
war.
was. I didn't know he was Cesaro from WWE.
Fortunately, this is one of the not that hard fights even to do, even in the hard mode, because he's slow in moving, so you can easily dodge stuff if you're paying attention. The primary,
moving. Look at him.
well,
Ow!
that's because you're not playing that well.
Not again! Ow! Sorry, Aerith.
To Aerith.
Sorry, Aerith.
Here's what you should be. Yeah, you're gonna access him. There you go. See, as a gesture right now, he's weak against wind of all elements
For some reason.
I mean,
The
but
last thing anyone would expect.
so yeah, use the wind. If you got the wind material from Shadley, just use it, and you should have a very relatively
Aerith,
good
he's
easy
grappling
time.
me again!
Was that a German suplex?
You can get a total.
That was a German suplex mixed up with a hammer toss.
Oh, there we go.
You can get a total of 2 win materials in the game. So basically, if
Oh
He
boy!
broke his glasses.
Thankful. Don't worry, guys. He has an extra pair.
yeah, he always, not just an extra pair. He always has an extra pair every time. Like, how many glasses does he have on his
Just on the
suit?
insides of the jacket.
The best thing about Rude is the fact that he is such a tryhard. He wanted to be serious about his job, but and as again keeping the theme with the Turks, he completely fucks up everything.
Again,
I
I'm
can't.
just.
I haven't gotten that far yet. Does Rude still have his crush on Tifa in this
Yes,
game?
Yes.
he does.
Yepperoo.
Even for his boss fight, he doesn't want to arm Aerith, so he will just use a sleeping pill. There you go. What he's about to do. He uses sleeping gas in order to, tranquilize her without having to kill her.
Oh, by all means, Dwibs. When you do face him again, remember to bring Tifa along.
But yeah,
I mean,
You
I
have
think
to.
you'll get Tifa anyway.
the best way to go about this was just to try to stay away from him and use both win materials on both Cloud and Aerith, and spam win spells on him.
I think the most fun thing about him is his interesting methods of attacking both party members here and there.
Or just freeze them,
Please,
like I just did.
leave us alone.
No can
I
do.
can't do that.
Okay, Rude, this is not the
Rude.
time.
I
Sorry,
get
can
it.
you
We
give me a
won.
second?
Yeah, sorry, do you either take this phone call?
But we're needed on standby for a job. Something about Sector 7. So get your ass back.
Oh, come on, man.
Reno, man, I
I'm
nearly
playing
have
with my
him.
friends.
Again, Rude has to play the straight man to Reno's whack shit insane.
Apparently so.
It would seem
Oh, we were having
being
so much
culture
fun
sweet.
together. Come on.
Good thing I had an helicopter just waiting for my signal.
Don't worry, guys. We'll face him again someday.
Oh.
Oh,
she
I
just very
God,
pondering.
I just cannot with these people. I just cannot.
We don't pay him enough.
Wow.
Don't- But
yeah.
people barely pay me at all.
But yeah, I really do like Rude in this game.
No, they got like I said, in terms of characterization, this game is basically perfect. Like every character is portrayed exactly as they should be.
I
Also,
actually do wonder what's gonna happen when Elena enters the scenes. later on.
also, us getting to see Rude without his glasses, that's a neat Advent Children reference. For that tiny little bit.
Don't worry, Teo. Thanks to the added expanded Spider-Man's will maybe Elena will finally
Sorry, hang on a second. What's that dot on the map?
It's a secondary event. Oh, it's another material.
I know that, but I was asking rhetorically.
Am I interrupting something?
So yeah, it was that kind of day.
Cloud, run!
Okay. Oh, she's crazy. I'll distract her and then you run, Cloud. Oh, hey, there's Flowers. It's nice to see you.
Remember, Aerith, despite everything, it's still you.
Because
Are
I
you
love
thirsty?
because I love you, Cloud. I insist you run. Why aren't you running?
Because I have a reputation to maintain, and I will not have it ruined by
Also, I'm
ran
pretty
away
sure
from
those
the speaker on the
I'm pretty sure
block.
those Ghost Dementors things will just bring him back.
Believe me after all.
Also, actually, Teo, considering what I remember of the original game, that whole "despite everything, it's still you" is quite.
Pretty much. Once again, the Andre archetype fits perfectly, Aerith.
It won't be much longer now. The flowers, they have something important to tell us.
We're dying. Can you please
they
water
do.
us?
We're thirsty, please God.
At least
Groundhog Day is gonna repeat everything again.
We're thirsty like our mother.
But before they can,
Or yeah, we're thirsty like
there's
Jesse.
one final step that has to be
I'm sorry, their mother is Aerith, and Aerith is plenty thirsty, as you will see
Yeah.
in Chapter 9 of this game.
Otherwise, we won't hear them.
Right.
Class face.
Your cat is like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
So let's see. I came to this town to hook up with my childhood friend who I may have a hots for. I've been hit on by a motorcycle guy and Jesse,
That's what
and
left off.
now there's this girl who I met after crashing in through her church.
I'm starting to think I shouldn't have come to Midgar.
Time to go.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
It's almost like you had no real choice on what to do because you had a mental breakdown. But what's the chance of that happening?
Oh, please. I am the picture of mental health, I'll have you know.
Oh yeah.
Work today, guys?
Yeah, keep up the great growing, guys. You're really budding.
Yeah, but oh, sorry, don't mind if I step on you. I'm just collecting this materia.
Oh,
But-
there's the
But yeah,
real
who knows?
Yes.
picture.
But yeah, who knows, Teo? Considering we're taking advantage of this remake to expand upon characters and plot lines, who knows? Maybe Elena will finally have a chance with Tsung? Maybe?
Oh, I think, well, yeah, potentially. Before Crisis also expands her backstory in a sense that you get to see her sister. I think she actually one of the player characters that you can choose to play as. But she does mention Elena and the fact that she too, her desire to become a Turk is inspired by her sister already being in there. Okay, once again, before Crisis basically expand the Turks lore a lot by having like a shit ton of them.
I'm still baffled that Before Crisis remained Japan exclusive.
And once again, I'm also surprised too. Instead of the fact that Square didn't took advantage and released it as a companion mobile app, because it does surprisingly fit well with the current, mobile marketing.
Even more
around.
surprising, why didn't they do something similar to what they did with Kingdom Hearts Coded and port it to a Nintendo handheld, like a lot of people were doing in the day?
Well, Recoded is, as the name implies, technically it's a remake, because if you could check footage of the original Coded,
It played differently.
so Recoded is actually a remake of the entire Coded series. So
Also, it's funny you mentioned that, Jova. Back in the day, there were rumors. One of the people at Square, forgot which one specifically, jokingly said that they may have considered, doing a 3DS version of the game at some point. But as you can imagine, that plans probably have been busted.
Fortunately, the fans took matters on their hands, and
True, but once again, it would be cool to see it eventually.
Basically, Jova, fans made fan translated PC version of it all for people to play. Basically,
How nice. I guess that may be one thing we handle in the future.
if I remember correctly, Teo, they actually went to the game's assets and
Yeah, because ROMs for Java-like games are incredibly hard to pull off. I'm surprised that we managed to do it. Anyway, see you for the next part where Cloud will have to, I guess, sleep at Aerith's house.
I
Sure.
do
See ya.
believe we will be crossing over into Chapter 9 next part.
See ya.
yeah.
We'll see you then.